everyone. It's Ria, and I'll be presenting on the topic of transpersonal approaches to career development today, our final project. Woohoo! Okay, so a couple definitions that I'll go over. When I define career, I think about calling, intuition, and desired lifestyle. I believe that career makes up all these three terms, and I'm going to be spending most of my time talking about the internal factors because I think that is a big topic enough as it relates to a career choice. So a calling, I believe, is a strong pull that we gravitate towards as our passion. I think it's something that we can't avoid altogether. It's something that is reoccurring in our life, and we'll see little signs of these throughout our life. Our intuition is a strong gut feeling or a higher power that hints at us throughout our life. It's something that we also can't ignore, but it's something that it's the final deciding factor when you're picking your career to figure out if this is the career for you. It's that gut feeling like, okay, this is me. And a desired lifestyle is the type of lifestyle that we ideally see ourselves living. It's the things that keeps us balanced to avoid burnout, having time management skills, and eventually thinking about, okay, this is how I want to live my life, and this is how I see my career being part of it. Next, our calling, a deeper dive. Levoy puts this quote out, and I think it was really special because I think it really sums up what a calling means and what it kind of portrays in a life. Saying yes to the calls tends to place you on a path that half of yourself thinks doesn't make a bit of sense, but the other half knows that your life won't make sense without. So you know that this passion of yours, this call of yours is calling your name, and you know that it's something that you should attend to, but sometimes you ignore it because you think there are other things, but it keeps coming back. So you can kind of live without it, but you kind of can't. So I love how Levoy puts that in a quote. I think it's beautiful. Some types of calls that we might encounter in life are song lyrics that can't get out of our heads. What you would preach if you had an hour of prime time. A conversation you might overhear in a restaurant that seems as though it was spoken directly to you. And what section at a bookstore you gravitate most towards, like if you were to walk in, and the first section you would go to when you walk in. Just little things that might be a sign that this is a call to you. And next slide, intuition. I wrote not self-made, because I think that intuition is very like a gut feeling, and a lot of people have this new term called self-made and success by self, but I do think there is a higher power, there is a higher source that helps us guide us through our life and maybe initiates that gut feeling inside of us. Like Levoy points out, faith begins, if it begins at all, where knowledge leaves off. So that means in my head, I'm thinking there's no evidence, there's no proof, we've done all our research, and now what is our intuition telling us? What is our gut feeling telling us? Some ways that we can practice our intuition is keeping a record of hunches over time, maybe keeping a journal of what we've made, we've had an intuition about and that's been right, or playing a guessing game like who is going to call us without looking at our caller ID, maybe mom, dad, or a cousin, and being right about it, or trying acting on an impulse, like not overthinking about what is going to happen next, just taking 10 seconds and using our intuition and what comes into our mind as our first answer or our first question. And eventually we will know that it's just a feeling, carries a weight of authority we can trust. So we know that this just a feeling can kind of guide us throughout our life, and we know we can trust it, which would be a really good goal to have. And lastly, our desired life. This is basically what we want our lifestyle to look like, incorporating our career in it. So that and burnout plays a big role in this, because I think that when you experience burnout, you know that you have to have a work-life balance. My personal experience with burnout is that I work as a personal trainer, or I work part-time now, but I used to work full-time, and I experienced so much burnout that I couldn't even fill my own cup. I wasn't practicing what I preached to my own clients. It was not good, not healthy. I used to say yes to all my clients when I know I needed time to recoup for myself. So I knew it was healthy down the road. Unhealthy. Cope puts it perfectly, as he explains, it's brought by excessive striving to achieve attainable goals. So having too much on your plate and trying to say yes to everything when you really can't manage it. A few ways we can manage burnout is being aware of the symptoms, such as emotional exhaustion and numbing out to find a cure. Choosing specific tasks that you think that we can actually complete. Saying no to certain things that don't fill your cup. And maybe even finding clever ways to empower yourself, whether it's sticky notes to yourself, changing passwords that are a little bit more affirmation based, which is a fun idea. And even delegating tasks that you can give to someone else so that you can work on the things that you love. And eventually we can have this desired lifestyle that we want, such as how many hours you want to work. Do we want to travel for work? Do we have a work-life balance? And that eventually is the goal, and having a happy life. So yeah, those are the three things that internally drives us to our careers. And lastly, these are my citations. And I thank you for watching my presentation. Bye-bye.